Hello, this is Plume Silver. I've got a draw here for Tamara Lich, her name. I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. She's also a Canadian political prisoner, just like Pat King. And anyway, she's kind of a strange story. Not strange in a way, I think it's designed. She's in jail again, and just because she was caught uh, being in a place where she wasn't not following the rules of her bail, being in the presence of a person that she was not supposed to be with, a photo taken. Anyway, the whole thing is ridiculous. There's a lot of information that can be found on her story. I'll probably try to link one video that can describe it a little bit about what's going on with her. But I've got some tarot cards that represent Tamara, what I think the kind of person she is. I'm sort of looking at to see what kind of group. I believe there's, I don't believe one person works alone. So, but anyway, she is here, the Queen of Sword. The Hierophant is kind of calling her to, in the center card here, to be ready to put the law down to what she needs to, or use the law, or anyway to count on the law. But there is actually a force, and I even think could be our Mr. T here, Canadian Mr. T, that is sort of putting his forced law into the situation, and it's creating some sorrow. And then the Moon card here is saying it's going to be slow. You have to take your time, and because there has been lots of preparation that has been done, but it's only the early stage of what she's doing, because this is a slow process to create an happy situation, an happy ending. Even if you're gonna have to let go and take your time, let things happen. There's things that have been organized. That's what I feel like. It's been organized, because there's the card here of Temperance, which kind of makes me think that there's some help from higher self, or even maybe future self, that because there's some alchemy going on. It's coming to an ending, to change things, change guards, who knows what it is. But this person here is got a force over this. But there is on both sides here showing that with patience things will happen, because it's been prepared, and there's a lot of passion behind this. And this person will suffer quietly, being locked in. It's okay, because that's part of it. Part of the contract that she might have kind of taken and gambled here, a contract ring here. I see you're going to I'm going to look at the four corner. The four corner, we got the rider, the house of the rider, which is the liaison, the whoever that she may be connected to. It's not her here, or it could be her ancestral lineage, or people that are kind of been contacting her. I believe that she might have been sort of led to do this. There's some hidden knowledge. It's the gift of you're gonna have to carry the cross for this. There's a gift here, and then there's a contract, and she actually knows that she had to gamble this. She's looking at this because she's here in the house of letter, and there's a contract that has been sort of taken here, and because here above her, here we're going to see the grandmother here in the house of ship, to make things move. Actually, the ship, I would call that's a convoy. The convoy here is here, the ship. It's where it was at the Parliament. At the Parliament here is right here, the institution, the government, whipped. It's been whipped like... I find it funny, the whip, because actually when I look at the crossroad here, the path here, it's in the house of man, I see the whip here. I said, the whipping boy, he's right here. Fish, he's just part of a pool, really. A pool of what? Like, basically, I think he's double personality. Could be many personality because of fish. And also it's confusing the public, because you see we got the clouds, and it's making a lot of people talk. And especially in the house, which is kind of like deadbeat people in the house of... I think so, because they all seem to be like brainwashed. Whatever they do, they don't seem to see what the truthers are seeing, or even talk about it. And if they do, well, they're certainly don't make it clear. They're confused. They're actually confused themselves. They're all trapped in some way. But anyway, the woman here, being at the bottom here, have the obstacle here. There's an obstacle that was created with the convoy. She was part of it, and he's the men in the house. They're sitting there. You see, he's at the end. He's on his way out. He's on his way out. He's actually trapped. He's trapped because there's an obstacle that was created, and here there's the stability, the friendly stability around. Like there's a stability of this group of people that is sort of like trapping him there. And he's trying to make it look like he's a friendly guy, but he's not really friendly because he's double-sided. He's got two sides of him. And the lilies here, the riders, I'm going to look at the four corners. The lilies are a group of many that are being reflected. They're in the public, that people may eventually know. We're not seeing it yet, but the mice here shows that there's a heart here, and actually they're humanitarian workers, people that work together. And to see the writers right here in the heart, you see they're ones who's trying to bring this new era, this new alchemy. You see there's the rainbow, just like I had the card here with the rainbow, which I think is kind of, where is this? See? Nice, the rainbow here, the writer. They're actually the one who's bringing this new era coming together, and I believe they're the white hats. I'm going to start using the white lily as the white hats. I mean, that's the white hats. Who are the white hats anyway? But that's kind of a reference that I hear often. And I said, with my Lenormand cards, it would be nice to find the white hats, and they're there. And I believe she's connected to them, as she's got a contract with them. You know, she's got a contract to create this obstacle. She represents something, and she will be in the future in history recognized for this woman that stirred up the house, you know, that really created a change in the house. Stork, you see the Stork house here, and the house is has some change going on here. There's like this cult, like I think that even having this man here, which I think is our Mr. T, that is in trouble here, is on his way out, is part of a, you see they've got the coffin here in the house. They're like almost like a death cult, you know, like they're on their way out. They're dying. That house it's on its way out. It has to go. Coffin, let's go look at the coffin. It's the snake. They're gonna be like, what do you call it? Like the snake's cult, or not, or even just sort of like manipulated. They're going to be they're a deception to the slow change that we would like to, if we want to reach our higher self here. And the bear here is cutting, you know, these deals. And there is actually something interesting here, because I've got the garden here with the moon and the sun here. The two of them are in the center of this whole writing. So it really kind of tells you there is actually a dark and a light working together. They're like two opposites really working, and then are having an argument. And it's all about humanitarian work. Just looking at this house, this line here, you got the house that is wanting some change, and here there's the rainbow here, because there's a friendly connection to ancestral knowing, ancestral knowing. You see here, there's a gift that when this convoy went to the parliament to help us becoming aware with the help of this woman and other people, obviously. And then now the public is starting to know in the garden. See the house, the garden, the moon here, it says that the public is starting to know about this. Well, I mean, we're shown that this to succeed this obstacle here is the solution to succeed, to make things change, you know, and create some argument. It is creating a lot of arguments, a lot of trouble. But the mice, there's many people. There's a lot of people taking down this house right now, because they're all working in humanitarian work, and they're linked here with courage in the house of the heart. and the rider here, they're all linked. They're all linked with the white hats, I think. Anyway, we could talk about the white hats. There's a king here too. So who knows the white hats are? I think there are many people. They're just people that have a faith, a gift of the faith that is definitely more about, see Scythe, the fish here. He's in the house of, is to cut the face that they need to cut away this rotten fish. You know, that is in the house here, that is not helping and is keeping everybody confused. Because that the child here, there's a commitment here about the future, to keep the future for the children, the grandmother's making sure that she's cutting things, deals to trying to care for the future of the children. The children, you see the child, and the child are really close to her. And fox here makes me think, it's like here, if the fox is in the lilies here's the foxes. You've got this to protect and to create a contract to protect these children, or the future of the children, the potential has to be manipulated, and then some sharp decision has to be made. And there's a bear here. She is here. She's the bear. They call her the grandmother because she is a grandmother, and she basically became sort of a representation of the convoy, and she did something. But nobody works alone. This, I don't believe that, and that's why when I see the white hat here, I believe there's something there. They're helping. And at the root of this, where we have the tree here, they're friendly, and they're actually ancestral in the house. The tree here, ancestral, because they're with the star, and the star here is communication frequency. They're in the same kind of frequency, same kind of ideas. They're committed to create this protection for the children here. So, and the mice here, because the mice here, that's what's trying to show to the public. The mice here, it's got the heart. It's really, they're all courageous, and they really, many of them. There's a lot of people, and these obstacles, these things to anchor down all these decisions and things that has been done, but with all these people, they're going to bring stability eventually because of that. And the lilies, they're wise, they're using wisdom, and they know how to manipulate things by knowing what they're going to do, even if some people will have to suffer, because suffering, the sufferance of her choices she knows that she makes here, the sufferance here, the cross here, is what will help, like showing to the people. People will start seeing what's going on. It's because there's pain that has been created. So, and then the woman here, you see, if I follow just the card of the woman, she's in the house of letter, and the letter is in the house of woman. It really shows you that this person has a deep contract that is very clear, and it's because it's showing a path of like what's going on here. There's a change, a deep change in the house that is happening, and her contract, she's representing this, and she's the one who's creating an obstacle, but she is, and it makes we see her that she's the one who's being locked up, but in a way, her presence is creating an obstacle for this man who's like, he's focused on this, but he's obviously, he will, it's not going to help him out, because he's on his way out. And there's a lot of friends here that are anchoring to make this successful thing that have created this mountain. You see, we've got the anchor house here, the anchor here, success mountain. You see that? Whoa, he's in a triangle. He's really like surrounded with people that are just trapping, and they're all related. They're all friend to each other here, and they know the path they have to do, and they know they need to reflect that to be successful, to create this argument at the crossroad here. I call him the whipping boy, because he's he's there. He is. So that's I would say that's pretty good. I got it all down. I think so. It's interesting that she's here, and then the mountains right below here. And you know, when you also when you look at the what do you call it? The night, I knighted, as I say here, stork. She's bringing change in the house, and I'm gonna knight it this way. And she's anchored. She's friendly, a person who's going to bring stability eventually, because we have to be patient. And then here it goes back to it. So it really does say, and it goes through the men and the woman here. This is the person who's going to bring some stability. That's going to change everything. Not right away. We won't see it, but we will recognize that. We'll recognize this person here, the woman here, will be recognized by the public, that she helps secure the future for the children in the public here, to create a transition. It's about creating a transition. And because you see the child and the ring is close by each other. And really, like here, or Mr. T here in the House of Fish, he's just many. He's really not a man in power, because it just kind of shows he's just part of a group, you know, a group that is just going with a certain flow. But and actually, I think he has even a double side of him. We don't know, and you know, it doesn't give us a feeling that he's clear here. So I think I'm gonna leave it to that. So I hope you like this, and that was for Tamara Lich, and hope again I pronounced it properly, but I think I did. And so I will be looking into her. I think her bail hearing is on the 25th. I'm going to be looking into it a little bit more. Now we have a reading about her, who she is and where she comes from. I personally think the white hats there is definitely part of this group. I use the word white hats, but I mean, you know, there's just some truth to saying this, but I thought, why not? Because just when I saw the first card I laid down, it happened to be white lilies, I went, oh, there they are, you know, and it just happened to, usually the first card really tells you who's behind all this, you know, what's going on. The first three cards, it says that there's a grandmother, which is her, and then there's the clover, there's a very fortunate, there's a contract, there's some gambling to open up things, to make things the house there, to end this house that is a problem. Right below bird is a problem, because it's on the wrong frequency in the house of bird. And then the tree there, it has the stars. That's because there's some ancestral, I think, ancient groups that want to be committed to the future of the child down below. So, and there you go. All right. Hopefully you like this. Thank you.